Welcome to American Medicine Today, presented by the Bonati Spine Institute, featuring the internationally acclaimed inventor of the Bonati Spine Procedures, Alfred Bonati, MD. Now here along with Dr. Bonati, your host, Kimberly Bermel.
Thank you for tuning in to American Medicine Today. I'm Kimberly Bermel, joined by executive producer of the program, Ethan Youker.
Glad to be here as always.
And as well, our senior fellow, Jeff Wagstaff.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
I feel like there should be trumpets or something when you announce the senior fellow. Senior fellow, Jeff Wagstaff.
You know, I thought about that. When folks tune into business news, folks I went to high school with or college, they'll say, wow, he's a senior fellow.
Look at how far this guy's come in life.
But
nowhere near as far.
But trumped only by
the man.
Dr. Alfred Bonati, world-renowned orthopedic surgeon and founder of the Bonati Spine Institute.
Hi.
Most humble man you'll ever meet.
He is. If you just passed him on the street, honestly, you might recognize him from the commercials, but he is one of the most humble individuals you will ever meet. And
that's not true.
You would have, Dr. Bonati, you would have no idea what this man did. He actually, I mean, all joking aside, sir, you changed spine surgery forever. There was invasive open back surgery that had high failure rates. And then you saw the problem with that and it bothered you. So you actually got out of back surgery and you did arthroscopic surgery in the knees and the shoulder, all those things. You paved the way in those areas. And then all of a sudden you had an epiphany. And you used that genius. I'm not calling him a genius, but using that intuitive intuition.
It's genius.
He set out and he formulated what's called the Bonati Spine Procedures. And nobody else on this planet, other than the Bonati Spine Institute and Dr. Alfred Bonati, perform these procedures. And they're patented, and there's certain tools that he developed specifically that help people, and they resolve their problems. So with that said, coming up, we have Angel Beth, a model, singer, and writer that
let me make a comment first. I cannot walk now with the big head that you gave me through that door.
Well,
we only speak the truth, my friend.
I think a time or two, but you know what? The patients speak for themselves. So with that said, we have this lady, Angel Beth, and she's going to be on talking about a rare mitochondrial disease called cytochrome C oxidase. I
don't even know how to pronounce
Something like that. Partial deficiency.
It's an extremely rare disease.
Yes.
She's actually a local girl who reached out to me via email, aspiring singer and model, very pretty girl, but lives in constant pain. And
unbelievable story.
It's pretty crazy.
We wanted to bring it to everyone's attention so they're aware of this disease. And, well, up first,
in today's Back to Life segment, we will talk to a patient of the Bonati Spine Institute who went from living a life that was restricted by pain and discomfort through their journey of finding the Bonati Spine Institute and are now living pain-free.
Well, we have Joel Solloway on the phone, and he's calling in from Cleveland, Ohio. So thank you for joining us, sir.
Oh, my pleasure.
Now, how many years did you suffer in pain? I think you said like a handful, like 5 years you were kind of, and by pain, why don't you describe what it is you felt so the listeners and viewers know, and kind of that process to finding the Bonati Spine Institute. Did you seek out other doctors' opinions, treatment, that sort of thing?
Well, you know, I suffered cervical pain for a good 5 years prior to coming down to Bonati Institute.
Okay.
And I had mentioned to you in a previous conversation that I had been an enduro motorcycle rider as a hobby for years and years, and fell off probably way too many times. And I think a combination of that process and just spinal stenosis from a degenerative point of view led me to the Bonati Institute, when in fact, after following a treatment of, you know, conventional protocols, including physical therapy, chiropractic care, massage therapy, and then finally going to a large medical center and having an MRI where they told me I needed open back surgery, you know, spinal surgery infusion immediately. That's when I realized that there had to be alternative approaches. And I did so because of the fear factor of knowing that someone is going to go into your spine, but into your cervical area, which is so close to your brain. It made it apparent that I needed to look for an alternative resource, and that is what I found.
So, Joel, when you started seeking out that alternative treatment, How did you find the Bonati Institute?
You know, I'm one of those people who do, due diligence. And, I looked and did research on surgeons who were performing minimally invasive procedures, or those where, in specifically where hardware infusion was not an option. And, I had known a number of people who had cervical spine surgery and had hardware put into their necks and had such restricted motion. And I'm a guy, I'm very active, I'm involved in sports and yoga and everything, and the thought of not being able to, turn my neck or look up or look down was frightening, to say the least.
Joel, let me ask you something. What is your background? Don't you have some sort of medical background as well?
Well, I was, I was a paramedic, a trauma medic for 11 years here in the Cleveland area. It was sort of a hobby. It wasn't my career, but it was a passion. So I knew a lot, or knew too little about too much.
And Joel, didn't you have a friend who was actually a chief orthopedic surgeon, and he sort of said that you needed one of those kind of fusion procedures, and you didn't really like that option?
Yeah, I did. A friend of mine is chief of orthopedic surgery and trauma up in the Cleveland area, and after the MRI, he had said to me that, you really need to take care of this. And the first comment I said was, God, am I in danger? Is there paralysis? And, jokingly he said, well, if I were you, I'd just wear a helmet. And that kind of set the stage for me to look elsewhere. But, yeah, at that point I went in, and he had referred me to a surgeon who said that I needed surgery, and that was on a Monday, and he says, well, I can do it on a Wednesday. And I think by Tuesday I thought Wednesday was not an option.
Got it.
So once you found the Bonati Spine Institute, you decided, what made you decide to come down here? What were you told? Did you send your MRIs? Did you do a phone consultation? Did you come down here and visit?
I did all of the above.
Okay.
I talked with everybody down there. I explained, what I was looking for. Could they do it? And most importantly, the safety. The fact that someone is going to operate on your spine, and specifically cervical spine surgery, is frightening, to say the least. Being so the proximity to the brain and everything. So, after doing again due diligence and looking at the surgeons, looking at Dr. Bonati's practice, and looking at the innovations in medical technology, it made sense for me to come to Florida.
Did it make things easier for you knowing that you'd be awake through the procedure? Not awake where it's going to be a scary thing, but conscious IV sedation, where you're sedated, but you do have that interaction with the surgeon during surgery.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about it. Because if you think about it, a surgeon going in when you're under general anesthesia is, going in blindly, in the sense that there's no verbal response from a patient, whether or not they have relieved the nerve pressure. And this way we could, literally follow the root cause of the pain and solve it.
Joel, those folks listening on the radio and watching all across the country on the television program know about the fact that not only do we have conscious IV sedation for the patients, but that you can watch the procedure. Did you watch?
I did. I'm in the media. I do large scale event production and holographic staging. So the idea of looking down and seeing a high definition monitor and and something that was so clear and vivid, when I could actually look, there were times when I was resting very comfortably, made it extremely interesting, and actually took your mind off of realizing what was going on the other side of your neck.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a surreal experience, I can imagine. Seeing, it's almost like you're watching a program on surgery.
It was exactly that. You're lying there and you're watching something, and you're watching them do, taking ligaments and bone spurs and clearing the nerve root, and you realize, wait a minute, that's me.
And it didn't hurt at all.
And it didn't hurt at all.
Let me ask you one thing. The pain that you had been feeling that prompted you to seek treatment, was that numbness? Was it a shooting pain? Can you just quickly summarize that so people listening, if they're feeling that same sort of pain?
Oh, absolutely. It was incredibly uncomfortable. I had a lot of pain that radiated from my traps, down through my left arm. I had tingling in my fingers, a general achiness that was just really 24/7.
Got it.
Wow.
And, it made life very uncomfortable on a daily basis just to perform your daily activities.
And Joel, did you feel immediate relief during the procedure? Because we hear a lot of times, and I've even seen it in person in the OR, of people, immediately, whatever physician, if it's not Dr. Bonati, is working on them, they say, stand up or, get up on the table on all fours, and they think incredulously, I can't do that, and then they do that. Did you have a similar experience where you felt immediate relief?
I did feel relief. It's a little different, in terms of the cervical spine surgery. You're pretty well positioned where movement is so restricted.
Yeah.
I can tell you that when the procedure was over and I was just moved on to the gurney, I could feel a complete difference in the threshold of pain, which had been diminished.
And how are you feeling now?
I feel really good. I mean, I've had 3 procedures down there. I had 2 in 2010 and the third one in 2012. There are still issues, on the right side, which at some point should be addressed. But when you're just doing the various levels and you're working on those, you can feel the pain associated with those levels eliminated immediately. So I feel really good.
The side that you had done was the left, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. So different issues, which of course you should address, and you definitely know where we are, Doctor.
Right. I'm always invited.
Yes, but I am so glad that you're feeling a lot of relief in those particular areas you came to see us for.
Well, I did, and one last point, and I mentioned this again to you, Kimberly, was the fact that being involved so much in yoga and you do so many different kinds of moves, we do a lot of inversions, and I mentioned that, the one inversion that I do is standing on my head.
Did you
which,
ever think?
You have to have a lot of confidence in your surgeons and the Bonati Institute to know that after spinal surgery, cervical spine surgery, you can still stand on your head.
Amazing. All right, Joel.
Be careful, but it's certainly amazing.
No, you're scaring me.
And that's Dr. Bonati.
Yeah. I'll be careful.
All right,
Okay, Joel.
Continued good health.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You keep in touch.
Take it easy. Good stuff.
Well, again, another success story from the Bonati Spine Institute. If you or someone you know is suffering with pain, feel free to reach out at 855-267-0483 or Bonati.com. They can definitely provide you with the relief that you're needing. Coming up after the break, you'll hear more from American Medicine Today on News Radio 970 WFLA.
Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati Spine Procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati Spine Procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail.
This is the first time that I am pain-free after 18 years, and it's just wonderful. I love it.
Phenomenal results, no pain whatsoever.
My pain is virtually gone, nothing short of a miracle.
Those surgeries gave me my life back.
Already I feel like a new person.
I'm going home new. I can chase my grandbaby now, I can garden, I can cook, and I'm really thrilled. The outcome's been remarkable.
I feel 100% better.
It's like a miracle.
It was phenomenal. It literally did change my life.
I was in a wheelchair at that time, and I left here walking.
Every single pain that I had when I came here is gone.
I'm ready to go home and feel great. This place is great. Thank you.
Everything that they said they would do, they have done, and I'm very, very satisfied and happy with those results.
I knew in surgery, in fact I told the surgeon when he relieved the pain off the nerve.
The pain is gone, I'm feeling wonderful.
I have no pain. I feel better than I felt in 4 years from the surgery. It was almost immediate relief.
Today I am totally pain-free, which is just amazing. It's fantastic.
It definitely works.
I mean, I really don't know what else to tell you. I'm happy.